I have a first question for you guys. Have you ever lived an earthquake? A real one, when the buildings collapse, when the ground under your feet starts shaking, when your body starts reacting even before your mind understands what's happened? I lived this experience, and I'm sure some people have lived it as well. I'm gonna be back to it in a moment. But now, let me ask you another question. Have you ever lived another kind of earthquakes, where nothing is shifting outside, but inside something is shaking? It can be losing someone we love. It can be moving countries, changing countries and going to a new country to study or to work. I want to let you know, guys, something about these two different kinds of earthquakes. Both of them, they have something in common. They don't ask for our permission. They just happen. And when they happen, suddenly we have to rebuild. So many of us here have lived this experience, the same specific earthquake of leaving the country and going to a new country to study or to work. At first, it sounds exciting. New people, new country, new language, new cultures. So and we feel that we are the master of our lives, managing the life the way we want. But then, few months later, or sometimes just few weeks, we start feeling that something inside us is shaking. And the way how we react to this feeling is, for most people, the same exact way. We start hiding. So we start hiding our background, our culture, who we are. I know this because I lived it. Once I left Morocco to go to the UK because I was always French educated. I wanted to go to a country where they talk English. So I went to the UK and I was studying there. Once someone told me, you have a French accent. And the way how I took this comment was not just random or just simple or interesting or just different, beautifully. I took it as something I had to fix. And that's how many people of us took comments or how they behave with these differences in culture and changes. They feel that culture is something that we have to smooth out instead to stand out or instead to build with. They feel that we start feeling, me, I'm part of it, so we start feeling that our culture, our story is something that we have to shorten. It's too complex, too complicated for people to understand, and that we have to hide it. And between the lines of our CVs and our biographies, we start losing our identity. And this misalignment is very exhausting because when you go to a new country and you have a new life and you are different and coming from different backgrounds, we don't see it sometimes. What happened is that we don't see it as power. That's why I want to take you back to the earthquake I mentioned in the beginning. So I'm from Morocco, and for the last few years, I worked with communities from Morocco in different regions, but I worked specifically with the Atlas Mountains, the mountains of Morocco. And these people, if you know anything about indigenous communities, you're gonna know that these people are very connected. So for example, if someone is building his house in these villages, people are gonna come and help with the building. If someone is getting married, people are gonna provide financially and help to get the wedding done. So in September 2023, 6.8 magnitude earthquake hits these mountains. And I was there and I lived it with them intensely. And what stayed with me from the whole experience is not the distraction, it's the response. So these people there, and at that moment, we got people from all over Morocco. And if you know this country, you're gonna know that it's a very diverse country. So we had people coming from the south, from the north, from the coast, from the Sahara, going to the mountains, going up to the mountains. And what was beautiful about it is the differences between each one of us there. And what stays with me is the fact that everybody came with whatever they have to provide. So people who knows how to build, they came and helped to rebuild. For people who knew that earthquakes is something very traumatizing, they came and gave informal therapies to the people and the kids, the women there. For people who knew that these people don't have the education enough to know how to react when an earthquake happened, they came there and they gave training to these people to understand how they have to react when an earthquake happened in these regions. And that was very beautiful because I saw all the differences of people. And here I learned something about differences, is the fact that differences is something that inspires us. And its weakness is only when it's hidden. So if I want to bring back this story of the beautiful mountains to here, to Phoenix West, look around us, guys, like around you guys. Look how different we are, different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds. Yes, we can hide it, or we can use it to empower each other. So here I want you to think about it in a very deep level. So I want you to capture with me a river, and that you have a stone, you drop it in the river, and it creates the ripples. These ripples go far beyond those stone, like they go outward, and they reach places whereby the stone have ever reached. This is the ripple effect. So I want you to think about it like if you are the stone, you are this stone, and whenever you do something, you stand out for yourself, or you give the permission to someone to stand out, you are dropping the stone in the river and creating this impact. Because trust me, guys, when the next internal earthquake happens, and it will, it's not our CVs or between the lines of our biographies that's gonna hold us, but it's our connections, it's our people and communities. That's why today, guys, I wanna invite you to be the stone and drop it gently in the river of life and to trust the ripples. Thank you.